But those characters and how they were introduced, I got an issue with Miguel, and I'm gonna get into Miguel. I do have an issue with Miguel
Now
that
let's
I'm
go
gonna get
ahead and
into.
dive right into Miguel.
You want to dive into Miguel? We jump into Miguel.
How you a spider? How you a vampire Spider Man?
Well, okay. So I give you a little background on
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Let's
on
give a lesson.
'Cause
2099.
they didn't go.
They
Did they even
didn't. That's
discuss
why I
that?
haven't.
How he
On the
became?
shit at
Because when
all.
he went to go bite old boy's neck, I was just like,
What
Yeah,
in the world?
that's what. But see, and I got something uh that I read, and it made me go, "Oh shit, that might not even be Miguel.
Ooh.
That might not even be Miguel. That might not be Spider-Man 2099."
Mm.
I know. I see
Okay.
you, Mika, but you don't know the other villain. Remember, I keep on
Yeah.
talking about Moreland.
Moreland, right?
I keep talking Moreland.
so Miguel not a he
That
not a
might
vamp.
not be Miguel. I'm
He
not
not a
saying he don't exist.
he not a vampire.
No, Miguel. Okay, so I'll give you the background on Miguel. So Miguel was a scientist, geneticist. In the year 2099, he was running experiments to. I forgot what the experiment was, but let's just say super soldier serum, something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he worked for Alchemex. The last experiment he did, the subject died, so he was gonna quit. So the bosses at Alchemex tricked him into drinking this drink, which was a drug, and that drug is highly addictive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but the only people who could antidote the drug was Alchemex. So they did that thinking that they would trick him into stay working at Alchemex.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, he tried to come up with some kind of concoction to alleviate the him being addicted, his addiction. So he went to Alchemex, ran the test on himself, and then his boss showed up and said, "Okay, you trying to do that? Then I'm gonna just kill you." And he started messing with all the knobs and stuff like that. So a big explosion happened, and because it was like gene therapy, so he was gonna change his genes to where he wasn't addicted to the drug no more.
Mm-hmm.
That happened. It ended up being because his genetic thing was he took. I think he took old superheroes. So he might have had Spider-Man's DNA. He had something like that, but he took DNA and was splicing it. That's how he ended up with a spider. So boom, that happened. He ended up having claws on his hands and on his feet, the abilities of a spider, just like Spider-Man, and he also had fangs, right? He also had sensitive to the sunlight, and he could see in different infrared and things, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature. So you can say he is kind of like Spider Vampire, you know what I'm saying? You can say that. Here though, and this is where when I say that he might be Moreland, he didn't shoot webs. Everybody else shot webs because Miguel 2099 Spider-Man shoots webs out of his hands, actual organic webs.
Mm-hmm.
There was no organic webs with this Spider-Man.
Yeah,
it looked like lasers. Right? Looked like lasers. His suit, he had like a damn near like a Iron Man suit. It was like nanotech.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now in the 2099 version, he basically just had a suit made out of unstable, like Fantastic Four. Their suits, you know what I'm saying, depending on their power, like how what's it called, can stretch.
Yeah.
The suit won't rip and tear because it's unstable molecule. So that's what his suit was made out of in the comics. Here he had like a nanotech suit. Remember, we don't really have his background. We didn't get how he was bit.
No.
We don't know how he became Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? He just showed up into this universe saying that, oh, the Spider-Man of this the Miguel of this universe died, and I took over and was liking the kids. Right?
Some of them.
Now that's just a you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I saw it and I dived a little bit more deeper into it and started researching, but it fits and it makes sense because the only thing I said, Moreland is a vampire who goes around, like I always say, he goes around, whether it's a spider totem, whatever the totems is, he's a vampire and he takes all the their energy from it. We don't see him doing that. But he did, like you said, he showed them fangs and was about to bite. And then he had to inject it. Now, why did he have to inject himself? They never went into that neither.
No, there was a lot they didn't go into.
You know,
when it came to Miguel.
Spider-Man 2099 doesn't have to inject himself with anything. Now, I haven't read the comics in a long time, but he doesn't have to, as far as I know, he doesn't have to inject himself with anything to like stop him from wanting to bite somebody. He's not going around biting people in the comics. You know what I'm saying? That's just a byproduct of what happened. So that's just a theory, you know what I'm saying, that I read, and then I did it, and now I kind of like, this might be. And they say Moreland is supposed to be showing up in Madam Web, or mentioned, or something like that in Madam Web. So,
right,
just throwing that out there. But to get back to this, Miguel, we all watched my homegirl and her love reach her Stretch Armstrong. I don't want to stay there, but I do want to talk about some of the points that she said about him being a dick to Miles. And just how he treated, what his motivation was. Because I think she missed what his motivation was, trying to you know what I'm saying, say what she said.
Yeah.
His motivation was, if we stick to what we saw and what we know, he showed up to this new universe, took over, and that universe collapsed on itself. Mm-hmm. And I think that's like she's forgetting that he witnessed an incursion or a cannon point,
right,
or whatever. So he is trying to stop that from happening in all of these worlds.
But the thing was, in Miles' world, it didn't happen. Mm-hmm. It didn't happen, because if it was supposed to happen the way that it happened in the world that Miguel went to, or in like Indian Spider-Man's world where the canon event didn't happen. So I'm thinking, let me rewind myself. In Miles' world, the canon event did happen because Peter Parker was Spider-Man, but he died, right? Mm-hmm. So the spider that was from Earth 42 that was in his world was never was supposed to happen, right?
Or was it?
Or maybe it was.
See, go ahead, Mick.
So my thing was like Miguel is sitting here like he's giving Miles the cold shoulder, because he's like, you ain't supposed to exist right now, my guy. Like, you ain't even supposed to be here. Like, that Spider-Man in that world died. So you replacing him, you're a mistake. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't necessary. And like, hate to, bring up that video, but she's like, he didn't address him in Spanish and stuff like that. And I'm like, this dude really did not care for this kid. They've been watching this kid this whole time. Yeah. They've been watching him this whole time. He really did not care for this kid, because he was not supposed to be Spider-Man.
Right. If anything, he didn't want to kill. I don't think he wanted to kill Miles. But if he could take him off the board to where, hey, all these things, especially now, I don't know if they will see in the future, or if they knew what the canon events was. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think Miguel is the leader. I think he's the Leonardo, but I think there's a splinter, which would be Madam Web. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully we see some Madam Web in the net, because she is, she can see the future. She can see all the intersections and everything like that.
Right.
So I would like to see who's really pulling the strings when it comes to that, because think about it. If I witnessed a world get destroyed, right? And now I'm on this crusade to stop worlds from being destroyed. And then the person who, I'm being told that this person is anomaly. He ain't supposed to be here. Yada, yada, yada. I'm going to be like, man, we got to get, this kid got to go. You know what I'm saying? If I'm a soldier like that, you know what I'm saying? Right. If I'm for real about my mission, then that's what I'm going to be about. It ain't about speaking Spanish back to you or being your friend or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then Gwen knowing, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knew that what the story was. Gwen went there to see him one last time. Basically, it was how I look at whatever the canon event was. Either he was going to die because he wasn't supposed to be Spider-Man, or his, you know what I'm saying, telling that who wants to show up and say, man, your dad going to die.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
like, she supposed to talk about, hey, good to see you. Hey, just to let you know, your dad finna die. Gotta go.
Right. Gotta go. and you better not stop him from dying. Gotta go.
Right.
What? You know what I'm saying? Like that.